Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
So what do you like most about being an actor?
Yes, the fact that I can become anybody at any time. Today I'm a policeman, tomorrow I'm a lawyer, next time I'm an armed robber, the next time I'm a pastor. And the world accepts me in all of these, the world accepts me in all of these roles. When they see me as an armed robber today, and tomorrow they see me as a pastor. You know, these are two opposites.
Yeah.
They would not judge the fact that I sinned probably
In your life story.
as an armed robber, and today I'm preaching to them. No, they will still forget that and accept me as a pastor. So I think being an actor has its awesome uniqueness in the sense that you tell the audience what you want to be, and they have no choice but to accept you in that role.
Interesting.
I like the fact that I can break into anybody's home, and present myself differently, like they saw previously. No, today, forget the pastor you saw yesterday. Today, I am a footballer, and they still accept me like that, and they love me for it. I love the fact that people can just see me, and no matter what they're doing, they just smile. Oh, this man! That gives me a lot of joy. The fact that I receive calls. Oh, my grandmother, since she started watching your movies, you've been able to manage her blood pressure better and all that. So that, to me, is something that money cannot buy.
Interesting. So what don't you like about being an actor? You have told us what you like. What don't you like now about being an actor?
Okay, in my own peculiar case, it's not just being an actor. The fact that I do comic roles, perhaps most of the time, even makes my case worse. Yes, if I were attending an event with, for instance, maybe Ramsey Noah now, people walk up to him, oh, wow, Ramsey Noah, we love you, so nice, I love you, you're a great actor. The same people who just want to be, where you said they to see this madman. I collect free slaps for every time. People just like, wow, you did crazy, this guy, that way. This guy, oh, I did kill you. Oh, say that they appreciate me. So that's why I said mine is because I do comic roles most of the time. Because I'm a very serious person by nature. Yeah, I'm a very serious person by nature. So when people now see you, somebody hears you now. See this one. Oh, who you want to see? You go find it.
Interesting.
I will
Interesting.
make church like this, where everybody come pray to God. One lousy woman from somewhere just, hey Junior, come and sit down. Useless uncle we were watching last night in church. Useless uncle. That one, to be honest, at the early stage, it was a very difficult thing for me to swallow. I hate the fact that people don't take me serious. You know, those days before we married, you want toast, babe. You just, girl, babe, I love you. Oh, stop it now, be serious. How was it serious? That's why, is there any other way to tell somebody that I love you? Eh? Somebody else will tell me, you mean it, oh, I'm so happy, I love you too. But if I talk my honest, oh, stop it now, be serious.
Be serious. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very difficult part of my job that it's not easy, to be honest. Those areas.
Okay. So what's the greatest thing, that being an actor has done for you?
Innumerable. They don't feel count them. They don't feel count them. It's brought me before kings and nobles. They don't feel count them. I don't feel count them. You walk into places where ordinarily other people are having difficulty, and the door just flings open for you to gain access. People are willing to do things for you. People are willing to assist you at every. No, they not feel count them. They don't feel count them.
Okay, all right. What would you have wanted acting to do for you that it has not done?
What would that be? What would that be? What would that be? Maybe what I would love to do that I have not done, pursuant to my career as an actor. I probably would want to rephrase and look at it from that angle, and that would be that I would love to have an academy. I believe there's so much I can impact, and I would love to someday soon have an academy where I can actually teach people. Now, in doing that, it would not be so much for the money. Money is very important, of course, I don't do it for free, but because I believe that I am a clear example, a testimony to the fact that acting can be taught. I was taught acting. Yes, maybe being a comic actor is probably something that you have to have a natural propensity for, but acting, yeah, acting can be taught. So I would love to teach as many people as are willing, because many people just see the glees and razzmatazz that come with the acting, and they all want to be actors without having the basic rudiments, without bothering to, just have some kind of foundational knowledge for what they are going into, and I would like to provide that. So that is what I have not done, but I'm probably not happy about.
Interesting. What is the commonest mistake that most actors make?
Well, that would be to think that anybody that can memorize a text from the dramatic literature and be able to recite same is an actor. I think acting goes beyond that, and that is why, in fact, it's a major problem that we have in the industry. I do not think that everybody should go to drama school, film school. There are other forms of training, informal kinds of training. You can get someone to mentor you. Then, yes, you pick what you can pick from him. People don't read. Almost everything they say book. Almost everything for people inside book. Yeah, people don't want to read. You just want to go feed one. I go feed one. The camera go do the rest. You don't get one magic with camera they do. Now which camera they see now they record. So
interesting.
Yeah, the fact that most actors think that because you can recite a piece of a text from the dramatic literature that makes you an actor is something that it bothers me. Yeah.
All right. Now, so what are the qualities? What are the attributes of a good actor?
Flexibility. I think every actor must be flexible. When you are rigid, when you are stiff, chances are that yes, you may be able to pull one or two characters through, but it can't get you far. Yeah, it can't get you far. Once that's how stereotypes are made. Once you are not flexible enough to be able to oscillate from one character to another, in drama school we are taught that playing a character is like wearing a shirt. Yeah, I'm not sure I'll wear the shirt tomorrow, so I'll pull it off and wear a new one. Each time you have a new character to play, you are take it that you are wearing a new shirt, and in wearing a new shirt, you should be seen to be different from how the other shirt fitted the day before. Yeah,
interesting. Interesting. Now, which is the most memorable role that you have played, and why?
Most memorable, I think I've had. Okay, I'll talk about 3, if you don't mind.
I want one, the most memorable one.
No, 3 because they gave me different levels in the course of this journey. Yes.
Okay.
The first will be when I played Dombra in Corporate Mate.
Okay.
Now the story of that movie is another story altogether. I'll quickly just say why I chose that role. Before I played Dombra in Corporate Mate, I was just doing bits and pieces here and there. You know, when you're on set, probably the actor that was cast for a role did not show up. Because AD, go and play that role. Or the actor is not doing well. Where you AD? Where you play him? So I was just doing bits and pieces. Even though I was doing those roles well, but I was not. I didn't have the luck of being cast from beginning to say, okay, we are giving you this role, not because you are the AD on set. You are a member of cast. Come and play this. No, I wasn't getting that. So when my friend Ikechukwu Onyeka, who was my assistant director for quite a while, wanted to do that movie, first he gave me the script. When I read it, I said, okay, this thing not go fly, this story not go fly, because the story you're getting, lesbianism and all whatnot. I said, yes, our people feel they hide watching, but it's not something anybody will be proud to say that I don't watch that film. So it not go fly. He said, what we go do now? I said, okay, what we can do is to douse that arm of the story with a lot of humor, such that people not going to remember that part again. So in answer, okay, I should see what I could do. That was how I wrote in the Dombra character, Kasali, Angela, which that became the movie altogether. So when I finished that role, that was when people now began to, oh boy,
note of you.
Hey, now you be this, okay. They were not calling me because they wanted me to be director or assistant director. You know, I was getting calls from here and there to come
and act.
Yes.
Okay, the second one.
I've been paid as an actor. So that movie gave me that leap. The
Okay.
second one was when we did The Gamblers, and I think the sequel, although we were not sure together, the sequel was Open Fire. It had myself, Mr. Ibu, Ikemo, and this was the first time I was going to act alongside these two giants. You know, yes, it was the first time I was going to act alongside these two giants together. Before then, I had done things with Ibu separately. I had done things with Osofia separately. But to be sandwiched in between these two heavyweights was something that got me very worried. I said, God, now here this career won't end. Maybe I don't do, they just won't go put me between two elephants. They'll just crush me now. So I told myself, well, I was not just going to give in so easily. I'll give it a fight. I'll just try. If at the end of the day, the fight not can reach, God will everybody knows that try.
Okay.
But to the glory
So the
of
third
God,
one.
yeah, to the glory of God, we did that movie, and I think I stood out. So what that did for me was it come up my game. So a few naira come out to my fee. Then the third one would be being Lucky Johnson on the Johnsons.
Lucky Lolo.
Before Lucky Johnson, of course, you said would know now. You know the Muros who they do up and down. For the first time, now Johnson's even make people come to say, okay, this guy goes school or he just cram all these lines. Nobody knew before then that I probably get as me as Kute each other. So Johnson's gave us that opened a new vista in my career, exposed us to upper, higher middle class and all that as fans. Yeah.
Interesting. Now talking about the Johnsons, how did you clinch the role of Lucky Johnson? How did it happen? How did you come to be a part of that wonderful production?
Okay, no, Lucky Johnson was always there from the very beginning. The character started the show when I was there. I've been there from the very beginning, 10 years running now. When I was called for that role by the executive producer, Mr. Rogers Ofime, we had a first reading. I just told myself, this is an opportunity to. There's a lot of me in Lucky Johnson. Yes, a lot of me, a lot of Charles Inojie, to the extent that I believe in so much in the power of the family. Yes, yes, you can have differences, we can have squabbles here and there, but at the end of the day, family is king. We must protect the family unit. So I just told myself this is an opportunity to ventilate that part of me that I always knew I trusted so much. I'm a man that believes in the power of discipline. Can't have children running riots. they must fall in line because no matter how Western we want to be, we are Africans. We are Africans, and the whip, the cane, is a very critical, very essential character in every home. Yes, in every home. You don't have to use it, but let them know that it is there. And the knowledge of the fact that it is there will put many people, in check. So Lucky provided opportunity for all of that, and yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Now,
People say
what
we are
makes
doing
it?
well with the country.
Yeah, you are. You are. I also say so. I also say so. Now, so
Thank you.
what would you say makes the Johnson, unique?
Oh, of course. It is probably, most probably, the only show that any parent in Africa today would feel very comfortable allowing their wards to watch, whether they are there or not. It is because it has wholesome content. You are not going to be bothered about what the kids are going to see, what they are going to hear. Rather, you will be pleased because they will learn. It is probably the only show that today it doesn't thrive on burlesque comedy for comedy's sake. No. Yes, you can laugh or you can, but at the end of the day, whether we throw it at you or it is mentioned subtly, there is always a message in every episode. So those are not common ingredients that you find on television these days, because like they say, sex, vulgarism, vulgarity, nothing they say, Richard. Nothing they say, Richard. So yes, every producer would just, take the shortcut to try to make his show popular and thrive on, the lewd, the vulgar, just to get along. But churning out day in, day out, all year round, wholesome content is something the African audience can never recover from, and that is why they love us.
Interesting. Now, of all the actors in the Johnsons, who are you closest to and why?
Okay. First of all, we exist as a close-knit family unit because, one, I am more with the Johnson's family than I am with my family. Yeah. I go to work 9 o'clock every day, probably come back 7. Depending on how much work I have for the day, sometimes 5 o'clock, sometimes maybe earlier, depending on how much work I have. And that is Monday through Friday, all year round. So most of the time before I get home, maybe my kids don't sleep. So I probably just have weekends to spend time with them. Some of these weekends too, I probably get engagement somewhere and all that. So I spend more time with the Johnsons than I do with my family. So that has also been able to bring us all together as a real family. So that makes me, for instance, close to everybody. But I have a relationship with Chinedu Ikedieze that predates the Johnsons.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Chinedu Ikedieze in year 2000, and we struck the kind of friendship that in the last 11 years, 2000 will be 21 years. Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
In the last 21 years, we see almost, except
every day.
I mean, yeah.
Interesting.
So that has its role to play. Whereas I'm close to everyone else, it is only natural that this one, inside all the friends, this one.
Interesting. Chinedu was my junior in school. I think when I was doing my HND or so, he was doing his OND or something, no ND final, but he was my junior in school. All right.